to me at that time, they will find that meanwhile during their investigation, they saw everything there. I submitted my evidence to them, and my eyewitness were there, and they know that what Abdulkarim did to me is very, very wrong. So I'm very, very surprised that they still come online and cook up a story just to make me look as if I'm a man, that is just to tell the whole wide world that I'm a mad person. I'm not a mad person. The investigation, the medical report that was during the medical evaluation that was carried out in National Hospital turned out negative. They could not diagnose me.
Okay, so you said you decided on your own to leave the army
Yes.
because of the inhumane treatment.
Yes.
Yesterday.
I have a question. At least this public square now, okay? So those of you who are part of this broadcast and watching this from wherever you are watching from, could you, in all honesty, I know you are not medical doctors or what have you, okay? Could you, in all honesty, say that lady has a mental a problem, that she's not coordinated, incoherent, and you couldn't make sense out of what she's saying enough to say maybe she actually has a mental problem? Could anybody, in all honesty, say that here right now? Listen, I know you are not a doctor, okay? But at least she confirmed there that they carried out a mental evaluation, medical assessment at the National Hospital, Abuja. And the report or the results of that came out to say that she could not be diagnosed of anything that has to do with a mental health problem. But the Nigerian army came out, continued to talk about mental health. And they kept repeating that and repeating that, as if to say that was enough to justify the rape of this young woman. And to those of you who actually knows how the Nigerian army operates, those who have had the experience, I have few viewers right now who are already kind of agreeing to what she said, how the Nigerian army operates, where she had to be handcuffed, stripped naked, raped in the office of this Abdul Karim guy, and then take pictures of her, send her to a psychiatric ward, make her look pretty much like nobody will believe you. And is that something strange to you? That Nigerian army or the Nigerian police can tell you automatically that nobody will believe you? Is that something new to you? Even in your schools where you have lecturers that are sexually harassing students, they will tell the student, the victim, nobody will believe you. Because everybody will say you are trying to come and ruin my career. Everybody will say you are trying to come and destroy my life. And since my colleagues are those who are going to do the investigation, nobody will believe you. You better cooperate. Is that something new to you? Could you, in your own church mind and mosque mind, say that lady is having any mental problems at all? Like, can you say that? And that's why I was asking earlier that why was that guy kept saying things about our mental health? Why? Why is he not saying something about their investigation? She said she presented her evidence. She presented irrefutable evidence. The record of all the abuses, the date, the time, the people there as eyewitnesses, including members of the Nigerian military working with that Abdul Karim. She was mentioning names. Where are those guys? Were they questioned? Were they interrogated? Where is the report? Where is that medical report? That that soldier, that guy, a Yoruba man, speaking as a spokesperson for Nigerian army, destroying the life of another Yoruba girl, all to protect a corrupt establishment. Here's the other part of that interview.
Humane treatment.
Yes.
What reason did you give them? What was the reason you gave as why you were leaving the army?
There was no progression because there was somebody, Abdul Karim, who was everywhere, my senior, a colonel. I'm a private soldier. I applied for courses. I applied for school. Imagine somebody raping me inside the office and nothing is being done, putting me inside caskets. It's called body bag. They normally use it in Northeast to bury soldiers who died during war. So he put me inside caskets, Imagine me writing seek for redress. Nobody listened to me. Including the chief of defense staff could not listen to me. They did not believe what I was telling them, even with my evidence.
So earlier on, you told me that the Minister of Women Affairs advised you to leave on
Yes.
medical grounds, and then you
No, not on medical ground.
Okay.
On normal discharge.
Okay.
That I lost interest.
Okay. So how did army arrive at you being mentally unstable?
That I don't even know. Because before one can be boarded out, they will call, that I said they will set up a board. This board, there will be a doctor, a medical doctor. That is how it's been done in the army. They will call a medical doctor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, psychiatrist. Some of these medical people will be there. Medical team will be there. The units, RSM, the CO, they will now invite the soldier to know if this soldier is still fit to continue with the job. Probably they will throw questions. They will set up a board, a BOI. Nothing like that. They never called me for any board. They never interviewed. I wasn't aware about the whole thing. It was just a cook-up, just to, you know. I was very surprised yesterday. I saw, we see my news flying up and down that the army discharged me. Army never discharged me. It was the Minister of Women Affairs that requested me to leave the army, which I wrote a handwritten letter. What do they call it? Voluntary discharge. I wrote a letter that I'm not interested, that I've lost interest in the job. So there was nothing like discharge anywhere. They never discharged me from the army.
Okay.
It was just a frame-up. They just gang up against me for no just reason, trying to cover up for Konyaibi Abdulkarim.
Now, you also told me that there was the part where you talked about the issue of the health certificate, and that your father was saying they were going to use that against you. Can you?
Yes. When after their investigation, so they ROT'd me back to my unit where I serve. So where they later called me that I've been discharged from the army. Like because I wrote a handwritten discharge that I'm not interested again. So I wasn't aware it was even board, because before they would board me out, I must be there. There must be an interview between me and those people boarding me out. So I'm not aware. So it was when I went, they called me from national the pension board that I should come for pension. I was very, very surprised that I'm not eligible for pension. Why are they calling me for pension? So when I got there, and I saw that they gave me 50% disability, that I'm not mentally stable. I asked question. I told them I'm not going to sign this form because they are going to use it against me. And immediately they gave me the certificate, and I sent it to my dad, to the Minister of Women Affairs. My dad said they will use it against me. And true, they used it against me yesterday. I'm telling the whole wide world that I was discharged from the army. I was not discharged. I seek.
You voluntarily asked?
I voluntarily asked them to discharge me, that I lost interest because of the inhuman treatment, because they don't listen to their subordinates. The oppression is too much in the army, man.
Are you scared for your life?
So Major General Onyema is after my life. Sending people to unalive me. So the army and every year they are looking for a way to kill me. I actually.
How did you know this?
I came to Abuja a few weeks ago to the Human Rights Brekete office to seek for justice for what Abdulkarim did and what the army did to me. At the end of the day, Major General Onyema instructed the Brekete to stay clear from the case. So that's how the whole issue started. So that's what triggered this whole thing. That's how they come online to make me look as if I'm not mentally stable, just to shut me up.
Okay. Have any lawyer or any human rights organization shown interest in your case?
Yesterday, some lawyers reached out to me and they told me that they were interested in the case. So I will see how to get or to see them. I haven't seen them, so they just told me that they are interested. I should call them and tell them what happened. We probably will meet and explain how the whole thing happens.
Okay, so now you're saying that what Army is saying, or what they said yesterday, is not true. So what do you want?
I want justice. I want justice. Before coming online to lay allegation on senior officers, I have evidence to back whatever I'm saying up. And which I submitted my evidence to them, witness to them. I made the investigation and they find out that all what I said was truth. So coming outside yesterday, telling the whole world that I am mad, it's a lie. They should bring out my medical report. The National Hospital is here. They did medical evaluation, and they could not even diagnose me. So I don't have any mental record. So I don't know where the whole thing come from. It was just a plan work. I don't know.
Okay, so after the first time that this incident happened, did you take it to, did you report it, the very first time that he tried to rape you or that he tried to harass you?
Yes, I reported.
Because you said that it happened several times.
Several times. In my call, in the Nigerian Army medical corps, the Colonel Brukarin, and they are the most senior officers in the medical corps, though he lost promotion. So his mate are brigadier generals. They are the most senior officers in medical corps. But I don't know, he has connection, and their classmates are all the people holding appointment in the medical corps. So if I report to this person, Colonel Brukarin will look for a way to.
Okay, so your final word on this incident?
I want Nigerians to intervene, and I need an open investigation. I need justice. That is all I want.
Humane treatment?
Yes.
What reason?
The only thing I see in her is the trauma. She is mentally sound, mentally brave, and in a country that is full of injustice, the last thing I think she's going to get is justice. That's the last thing. And I'm kind of like, it's really sad, to be honest, right? That there are those who are going through similar things that she's been through, who never had the courage to come out and speak out, just like her. And I'm grateful, I'm so grateful that she is that courageous. And yeah, whether they give her justice or not, we can tell what the truth is, so, right? And I actually really wish she gets the justice. But how do you get justice from an unjust place where the entire establishment is backing rapists, covering them up, giving them promotion? In a doomed country like that of Nigeria. It's an unfortunate place. And that's why I remember telling people that, why do you have to go and sign up to be a soldier in Nigerian army? Why do you want to do that? Gone are the days when they will say, oh, a Nigerian soldier is signing up to defend the territorial integrity of his or her fatherland. Who kind of still keep that lie? What is there to defend about that contraption anyway? Why would any sane person put their lives on the line to say they want to go and defend the contraption called Nigeria? The one they've made mess of, where all institutions have become so compromised. So compromised that in Nigeria, they blame the victims. I don't know if you know that. It's called the victim blaming. People would say, why don't you just keep quiet? What is all this? Why don't you just keep it to yourself? If you come out to actually raise alarm on the bad behavior, rather than go after the people who have committed the wrongs, Nigerians will blame you. In fact, they will threaten you, which is what they have done to her. But she's sort of brave it on, and she kept forging on. And that's something that I actually admire. See what happened between Bobrisky and the very dark man at the expose that you saw yesterday, where Bobrisky said his own godfather said he won't spend a day in jail. And in a recorded voice, it wasn't even like a very dark man saying it. He played the audio where Bobrisky was actually telling people. There are other videos, there are other audios from the same Bobrisky where he was serving his supposed 6 months jail. A guy that was being investigated for money laundering. Money laundering means some people are actually moving money illegally through a banking or whatever system. So she paid a bribe of 15 million naira to EFCC, another institution that was supposed to be, arresting those who violate economic laws. the economic saboteurs. So they found Bobrisky as one of those being used for money laundering. They wrote her and she was to be arrested and prosecuted for money laundering. Then the same EFCC guys asked him to pay them a bribe. 15 million naira was forwarded to them to remove the money laundering from their investigation. Then they went on to convict her for defacing the naira. Now it was time for her to go to jail. It was time for him to go to jail. Then another thing happened. The Comptroller General of the prison in Nigeria was called, and an apartment was rented for her, for him. God, man, it's confusing, right? Sorry. For him. And she bragged about it. And a recorded voice call was played by VDM where names were mentioned. Bobrisky mentioned names. And guess who they are coming for? Very Dark Man. Very Dark Man was written by this guy, Pause, threatened him. I give you 24 hours to apologize to me for trying to say this, that. I am happy that people have responded. I actually I like this guy. I don't think I'm going to change liking him, but he wrote a letter threatening the man that exposed the corrupt system you have in Nigeria, threatening him through his father's chamber, Falano and Falano. He didn't write Bobrisky that, how dare you go and tell somebody in that your audio that myself and my father were trying to clear your name from the convict's record, get you presidential this or that. It was Bobrisky who said it, not Very Dark Man. But guess who they were threatening? Very Dark Man. I'm glad that people responded to say, to hell with you and your whatever threats. Defamation or no defamation, if you have anybody that defames you, it should be Bobrisky, not Very Dark Man. So going forward, the story is now changing to the fact that the person, the Minister of Interior, that thief, you know him, Olubunmi Ojo, another criminal minister, has issued a statement to say this is a serious allegation. A serious allegation that some people actually compromise the prison system. You know what prison means? And do you know why they call the prison correctional facility? If I do something wrong and I am sent to prison, it is for me to reflect on my actions in life. If I've done something wrong that got me convicted, I am not supposed to go to a special prison. Nigeria is such a useless place, a crime scene, that you can get a VIP prison in Nigeria. It is so popular. Okay? If you do not want to go to the main prison, they can get you a VIP where you can just be living like somebody who is on holiday in Nigeria. Nigerian prison system allow that. So there is nothing correctional about Nigerian prison if you have money. But the confusing part is this. Bobrisky said he never entered any prison. He was rather living in a rented flat close to the prison. When he came out of that prison, he never looked like somebody who went to prison, of course. So when Very Dark Man said people should speak out, EFCC should speak out, the Falano and Falanos, they must speak out too. Now, Pause, who wrote that letter of, I give you 24 hours. In this letter, Pause did not deny knowing Bobrisky. You remember I said something yesterday, I said, you see, Falanos are lawyers. They would defend murderers. They would defend any kind of criminals. It's their job. And that does not make them corporate in anything. If you pay their price, if you pay them what they want, they will defend you. It doesn't really matter. When Tifnumbu's certificate forgery came up, it was Femi Falana that defended him. It was the same Femi Falana that stopped the Lagos State House of Assembly from investigating Tifnumbu's certificate forgery. Is Tifnumbu's lawyer. I don't know if he still is lawyer though. So Femi Falana can be, if we have to blame lawyers, we can say Femi Falana is one of those who kind of make Tinubu succeed enough to come and become your president today. It was Femi Falana that stopped the Chief Gani Fawayimi from sending Tinubu to jail in year 2001. But Femi Falana was just doing his job. So if somebody mentioned him and said, Femi Falana demanded for money to help clear his name as an ex-convict, get him a presidential pardon, and if that happened to be a lie, the letter that Force wrote to threaten the very dark man should have been written to Bobrisky and say, what the hell are you talking about? But guess what? Force actually admitted that indeed Bobrisky contacted him and and solicited for 3 million naira loan, which he denied. He rejected because he didn't have any money to give to Bobrisky. Bobrisky said all this money he was asking people to give him, they were he was going to use the money to bribe the EFCC, the prison officials, and the rest. That's how the names of Falana and his son came into the conversation. Okay? But guess who they were threatening? The man that exposed them. And there are Nigerians already who are already jumping up and down. This very dark man, they must teach him a lesson. How dare you go and mention Femi Falana? How dare you want to And I think that Falanas were feeling cool. They were feeling so powerful until they realized that this is not 1999. It is actually not year 2000 or 2010. This is year 2024. All of you who kind of enjoy to flaunt this your influence, sometimes you will shoot yourself in the foot. And that's exactly what they did. So this 24 hours warning, they really last that 24 hours before they realize it's actually empty threat. Or again, the foolish Nigerians, the oppressed Nigerians, the moron Nigerians who actually love their oppressors anyway, who were calling for a supposed harassment of a very dark man that they don't like. So to say, last night, the same very dark man said he had a chat with a Force. I am not defaming you. I am just so shocked that you are involved in subverting the cause of justice, despite the fact that we all condemn this criminal system that you have in Nigeria, these criminal politicians, this oppressive regime you have in Nigeria. It's just so shocking that somehow, behind the scene, you guys could be helping to subvert the same justice system. How? So, according to him, he had this chat last night, which didn't go well.
All right. So in respect to what Falz the bad guy posted, a letter that says I should retract my statement and I should apologize for defaming him. First of all, before Falz posted that, Seun Kuti called me and he said, very dark man, I just finished speaking with Falz the bad guy. I want you to call him. I'll send you his number. I want you to call him so that you guys can talk. And I said, Egbon, I don't want to talk to Falz. Then he said, no. You need to hear what he wants to say, And then I sent Falz a message. We got on a call. And then when we got on the call, then he said he wasn't happy. Then I said, how far? Then he started talking, I said, he said he started talking about defamation, that he wasn't happy. Then I said, Falz, I thought you're calling me to tell me your own side of the story so that I will know what's up, But I don't understand what's going on now. So at a point in the conversation, I felt like Falz was recording me, And then I said, Falz, I feel like you're recording me. I feel like you're trying to get evidence for me or trying to make me say something so that you can hold me by my wrist, And then when I said it, he could not defend that, Then he went on saying things like, since you know me on social media or my family, have you ever heard anything negative about myself or my father? I said, I have never heard anything negative about your father, Femi Falana. However, you yourself have heard something negative about you. Then he said, what have you heard about me? Then I said, my bro, it is for my own consumption and not for me to tell you. you know. So it was almost as if it was trying to pick my brain to know what I know and the length of things that I know. Well, anyways, that's by the way. Then the whole conversation ended up with me telling Faust that, thank God you are a lawyer, so you will not need to pay a lawyer to stand for you in court. But as for me, I did not defame you, and I'm standing that I did not defame you. So I will see you in court. That's number one. Number two, I did not read what Faust posted until later. And then when I read what Faust posted, I said, wait a minute. Bobrisky is saying that the voice call was fake. And now Faust is confirming that Bobrisky, they actually had a call. Do you understand? The only difference is that he's saying that Bobrisky was the one that called him, while Bobrisky is saying that it's Faust that called him. Faust is saying Bobrisky has seen for 3 million. Bobrisky is saying that Faust said he should pay a lawyer.